Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Jonah Fox. In today's video, I am going to be comparing harmonicas. I'm opening up my case and comparing the different harmonicas that I have tried over the years and putting them in a tier list from D tier all the way up to S tier, so you know exactly what you're buying when you go and expand your harmonica collection. For all of these demos, I'm going to be telling you the basic facts, the price, and showing you a closer look at the harmonica if I have it on hand, and playing a demo for you as well. You can find the links to all of these harmonicas down below in the description. Also down in the description, you will find the link to my free Harmonica Accelerator course, which will help you get better at harmonica by showing you how to practice the right way. And you will also find the link to my scale training program called Harp Trainer, which is an invaluable tool for practicing your scales on the instrument, which will help you out with everything that you decide to play in the future. Before we get started, I just want to say these are my opinions here. You may disagree with me, totally fine. Let me know what you think down below in the comments and share what your favorite and least favorite harmonicas are. That's it. Let's go and get started and jump into our tier list. All right, first up, we're going to talk about the Solist Pro. So this is a mid-tier harmonica from Seydel. It has brass reeds and a wood comb, and it is $44.95 at the current listing in US dollars, of course. And this harmonica, I think, is total trash. I got one, and the reeds were incredibly leaky. The harmonica as a whole just wasn't airtight. The comb didn't feel very good, and honestly, I threw mine out. It's a piece of junk. Don't get one. And I am going to put the Solist Pro in D tier. All right, next up we have the Seydel Blues Session, the brass reed version of the Seydel Session Steel that everyone knows, and it feels like a Session Steel, but the reeds are not as nice. It has a plastic comb and brass reed plates, and honestly, the one that I got was set up terribly, pretty much just as bad as the Solist Pro. I didn't like it, and it doesn't have the longevity bonus that the Session Steel does, and it is $36.95 at the current price. I am going to put it in, let's say, C tier. It's a little bit better than the Solist Pro, but I'd rather be playing a Session Steel or a bunch of other harmonicas than the Blues Session. Next on the list is the Seydel Session Steel. This is the stainless steel reed version of the Blues Session, and it's a pretty good harmonica. It has an ABS comb, stainless steel reeds. As I said, it is $59.95, and it's all right. It's a lot of people's workhorse harmonica. They're very consistent. The playability is pretty good. The stainless steel reeds don't respond as quickly as brass or phosphor bronze reeds do, so that's like a personal preference thing. But I just don't really like the body design of these, and the sound always just kind of felt, I don't know, a little fat and not that good to me. So personally, they're not my favorite, but it's a decent harmonica. I'm going to put it at B tier. Next up, we have the 1847 Classic. This is a good harmonica. It has stainless steel reeds and a sealed maple comb. So the 1847 line all have different comb types. The Classic is wood, silver is plastic, the Noble is aluminum, and the Lightning is stainless steel. So the Classic is my favorite. I really like the wood comb. It's a really quality harmonica that you can get for $89.95. So it's a little on the pricey side, but I think for this harp, it's worth it. It's going to go S tier from me. Next up, we have the 1847 Lightning. So this is the stainless steel comb version of the 1847 harmonicas, but it's a lot more expensive. It's $129.95. It's pretty pricey. And one thing I need to note about this harmonica is it's heavy. It's like really heavy. Compared to all of the other harmonicas on this list, this one is like a lead weight, and it makes it feel quality and premium, but it has some downsides as well. And the big one for me is when you pull this harmonica up to your face, there's the chance that you're going to hit your teeth on the comb. And let me tell you, that does not feel very good. It is a very well set up harmonica. It feels super quality, probably more quality than the other harmonicas on this list just because of that weight. It does feel good, but I'm telling you, I was on stage once and I hit my teeth with this thing, and yeah, never again. So I'm going to put this at B tier because it's pretty expensive and it kind of has a liability that other harmonicas just don't have, and it's, I don't know. I would say get a classic or a noble if you are going to get one of the other comb types. Okay, next up we have Hohner harmonicas. So we are starting with the cheapest one on the list. This is the Big River. Now, the Big River has a plastic comb and brass reeds, and it goes for $34.99. Now, I got a Big River when I was starting to play, and it was bad. No other way to say it. I mean, it is a cheap harmonica, I guess. What do you expect? But at like 35 bucks, I want a playable instrument, and mine was really leaky, really not airtight, had sharp edges. Yeah, I don't like it. Big River gets a D from me. Next up, we have the Hohner Blues Harp, very similar to a marine band. It has a Doussie wood comb and brass reeds, goes for $49.99. Now, I got one of these a couple years ago. I can't find mine for this video, but it's okay. It's similar to a marine band. The body is a little bit bigger, and I don't know. It's an okay wood comb harmonica. It's probably a little less prone to swelling compared to the marine band, and it has screws, which are pretty good because the marine band, which we're going to get to in a second, has nails, which means you can open this harmonica up if you're going to get one of the lower end wood combed harmonicas from Hohner. I would go with the Blues Harp instead. I'm going to put it in B tier. Next up, we have the Marine Band 1896. I realize in this picture there is a typo, but I'm not going to go redo it. This harmonica is the classic wood-combed harmonica from Hohner. It has a Pearwood comb and brass reeds, and it's retailing for $49.99. This is a really nice harmonica. The sound is really good on these things. They feel really good. However, the comb does swell, so it could hurt your lips, especially if you are a puckering player. They are not ideal once they're really wet with saliva, and it's a problem on this harmonica. The other problem is this harmonica is held together with nails and not screws. So if there is a problem in the setup, you can't do anything to fix it. And for me, that is a huge problem. So even though I really like this harmonica, I think it's a very good harmonica, I can't give it any higher than B, but I do really like it. All right, next up we have the Marine Band Deluxe. So this is like the Marine Band that we just talked about, but it has a sealed comb, and that makes it a lot better. So it's a Pearwood comb, and it also has screws. Essentially, they just took the Marine Band and they fixed the problems that people complain about, and they charge more money for it. So this one is $63.65 right now, and it's a very good harmonica. I really like my Marine Band Deluxe. I only have one in the key of F, and I'd like to get more at some point. So that gets A tier from me. If this video is helping you, would you do me a favor and click the like button? It helps this video get seen by more people. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Next up, we have the Hohner Special 20. I really like Special 20s. There's a reason why they are the standard beginner recommendation from most harmonica teachers. They have an ABS comb, brass reeds, and they are $49.99. They're just good harps. They're airtight. The reeds respond very well. They bend easily. And they're just reliable. I know that I could buy a pack of Special 20s and they're all going to work. And I can't say that about every other harmonica on this list. So for that reason alone, they're a good workhorse harmonica. I'm going to put them in A tier. Next up, we have the Golden Melody. This has an ABS comb, brass reeds, and it is $49.99. I love the shape of Golden Melodies. They are really comfortable. I really like this body style. I think it's a total win. The thing that you need to know about Golden Melodies is that they are in equal temperament tuning, which means the notes are a little bit more in tune than most harmonicas that you buy. And this could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on your preferences. If you're playing a lot of blues, it's not the best harmonica for that purpose. This is really great for folk music, for some more like, focused musical playing and songs. That's really what it does best, especially first position. It does a really good job in first position. They are good harmonicas. I like them a whole lot. I like them about the same as Special 20s, and they're also just as reliable as they are good air tightness and reed response. They're going to go in A tier. Now we're going to take a look at the two higher tier Hohner harmonicas, and we have the Hohner Rocket. This is essentially an upgraded Special 20. So it has an ABS comb and brass reeds, and it has open side vents, so they do have a version called the Rocket Amp that has closed side vents and a green comb. The Rocket is a very loud harmonica, and I find that the holes are a little bit bigger than the ones on the Special 20, and it just makes them easier to play. I think it's a more comfortable harmonica for that reason. Has a little bit of a different tone, and I like it a lot better than a normal Special 20. But, the improvement is minimal. It's a little bit more expensive at $59.99, but I think it's a good harmonica. I'm going to put it up in S tier. And the last one we have from Hohner is the Hohner Crossover. Now, if you've seen my top 10 video, you will know that I already like this harmonica quite a lot. This has a sealed bamboo comb, so it's not going to swell, and it's bamboo, which is kind of unique. And it has brass reeds. These feel like super high-end harmonicas, and they should be because they cost $84.99. Though I've gotten them on sale for like $50, so keep an eye out, I guess, for that. I really like crossovers. They feel super high quality to me, and the design makes the harmonica very airtight. They're very responsive, probably more responsive than any other harmonica that I've tried out of the box, and I think they're great. They're going to be S tier from me. Next up, we have Suzuki harmonicas, starting with the Manji. So the Manji is kind of like a wood comb harmonica. Technically, it's a composite, but it has like wood fibers in it. It feels like a wood comb. One thing I will say about this harp is it's extremely airtight. More so than most harmonicas. Every one I've gotten has always felt pretty much the same. It's very responsive, very airtight, has phosphor bronze reeds, and it is $60. This harmonica is a very good one, but I don't know. Personally, I just don't like them very much. I've tried 3 or 4 of them, and my experience has always been pretty much the same. Like, they're pretty good harmonicas. The comb feels good, just for some reason, they just don't click with me personally. I'm not quite sure why. I can't explain it, but for that reason, I'm going to put them in B tier. Next up, we have the Promaster. So the Promaster is a harmonica with an aluminum comb. So it's one of those unique metal comb harmonicas with phosphor bronze reeds, and it's $49.99. The Promaster is kind of a mixed one for me. I haven't gotten a standard tune one. I got some of the Patty Richter harmonicas that have valves, and I'm not sure how much the valves are influencing my experience because I like the harmonica. It has a good sound. It feels good to hold, but I gotta say, I just got reeds stuck on this thing so much that I really find them to be completely unplayable. And for that reason, it's gonna go C tier for me. My last Suzuki harmonica is the Pure Harp. This one is a unique one. It has phosphor bronze reeds, a rosewood comb, and rosewood cover plates. It's a really cool kind of novelty to have this wooden harmonica with a wood comb and wood covers. And it's kind of cool. It affects the sound. It makes the sound a little bit darker. But here's the problem. They're really expensive. The cheapest price I can find for these currently is $139.99, but I've seen up to like $180. And they are, I don't know, they're kind of a mixed bag. I like the wood. It is definitely cool. It's has a good sound. My biggest problem with the wood, though, is that it doesn't slide as nicely as the metal combed harmonica covers, because you really got to slobber on this thing to have it move nicely side to side, and it's also really expensive. But I like this. I play this harmonica. But, you know, for me, I'm going to put it, let's say, in B tier, because that price is just really insane. Next up is Lee Oscar harmonicas. So Lee Oscar makes a bunch of different tunings of the same harmonica model, has a plastic comb, brass reeds. It's $47.99. To me, I always kind of compared this to a Special 20 because it's about the same price and they look pretty much the same. I find that Lee Oscars are a little bit lighter. They don't feel as premium to me. And that kind of continues to the overall design. I don't know. I'm not crazy about this harmonica, but I will say it's a pretty good harp. They function pretty well. It's reliable. I wouldn't feel anything bad about having a set of Lee Oscars, especially if I was going to perform with them. They're reasonably airtight. They bend pretty well. I'm going to put it in A tier, but maybe hesitantly because the price is okay, but they don't feel that special to me, like low A tier, but for now, we'll put them up there. Our next harmonica on the list is the Harmo Torpedo. So the Harmo Torpedo is a harmonica for overblowing. It has a plastic comb, brass reeds, and it is $89.90. So this harmonica's claim to fame is like it's set up to play overblows right out of the box. Now, if that was true, totally awesome. Overblows are very hard to set up on your own. And if there was an affordable harmonica that had this all done for me, you know, I was on board. So I tried one out. And My problems with this harmonica are twofold. Number one, it did not overblow out of the box. For a harmonica where that is the main selling point, mine had no functional overblows out of the box, and I know how to do it, and I can set it up myself. So I had to go fix the reeds. There were some big gaps in the reeds, and I eventually got it set up, and mine overblows now. So, you know, it's great, but it doesn't really live up to its main selling point. So that's pretty bad. They sound very good. They have like a good weight to them. My other problem about the Torpedo, though, is that the edges are sharp. I've literally cut my face on the edges of the Harmo Torpedo. It kind of uses like a cheaper design that I've seen in some like Chinese harmonicas, and yeah, I don't know. It doesn't live up to the overblow claim. At least mine didn't. And for that, I really can't recommend them because there's other nicer harmonicas that don't overblow. So for that, I don't know. I want to give it like a B. If it worked, I'd give it an A, but because it doesn't go and match its claim, I'm going to give it a C. So Harmo Torpedo gets a pass from me. Okay, next we have the Kongsheng Baby Fat. This has a resin comb, phosphor bronze reeds. Now, the Baby Fat only has 7 holes, which sounds like a big downgrade, and maybe it is, but they're cheap, number one. They are only $24.25, and they also just feel really good. They sound good, they cup super well, and they're available in a bunch of alternate tunings. I really like the Baby Fat, and I totally am down to buy like a bunch of these to just try out different tunings. I really like them. They get an A tier from me. Next up is another harmonica from Kongsheng, the Kongsheng Solist. It has phosphor bronze reeds and aluminum comb. It is retailing for $50.50, kind of random. And it's a pretty good harmonica. The aluminum comb is a little bit different. Compared to some of the other metal combed harmonicas, this one felt the most playable to me. And I think it's a pretty good harmonica. It has a good sound. It's a little on the tinny side, but it's not bad. My biggest problem with this harmonica, and it's not a problem that only I'm having, is that the comb or the plates, I'm not sure which, is made with nickel. And I happen to have a nickel allergy, and I know a bunch of other people have as well. I don't want to worry about allergies with my harmonica, and I had to throw mine out because I couldn't play it. Didn't even want it around. So it gets a D tier from me. But if you don't have a nickel allergy, hey, it might be pretty good. I would say B, maybe even A, because it's pretty reasonably priced and it's a well set up harmonica. It's just I'm allergic to it. And you might not be, but I don't know. If it was me, I wouldn't want to take the chance. The last Kongsheng harp we have here is the Amazing 20. This is Kongsheng's ripoff of the Hohner Special 20, and it is very cheap. Has a resin comb, phosphor bronze reeds, but it comes in at only $23.10. And I gotta say, I like this harmonica. It feels like a Special 20. Yeah, it feels a little bit cheaper, but not by much. It's really good. It's about half the price. And if you're on a budget and you can't get the real thing, I would say it's good. I'm putting it in A tier. All right, we're down to the last 3. We have the Easttop T008K, or the Blues Pro. Has an ABS comb, phosphor bronze reeds, and it has these like lacquered cover plates, which I don't really like personally, but I don't know, they're there. And I think this is a pretty decent harmonica for its price, which is $21.75. This is a pretty decent harp. They sound really good. They're very responsive. They kind of have like a grittiness to the sound. But I find that reeds get stuck on this harmonica a little bit more than some of my other harps. And the big downside that I experience is that the edges of the harmonica are very sharp. And just like the Harmo Torpedo or the Kongsheng Solist, I've like hurt myself on this harmonica. I have to be very careful when I play it. So for that reason, I don't know, I'll put it at C tier. It's pretty good, but for the price, I would say get an amazing 20 instead. All right, next up we have the Lucky 13. This is a 13-hole harmonica from Brendan Powers, and it is a pretty interesting harmonica, having 4 full octaves. Has an ABS comb, phosphor bronze reeds, and it's $60. Now, the concept of having 4 octaves is great. I wish all of my harmonicas had 4 octaves. The problem is this feels like a really cheap harmonica. It feels exactly like the Easttop Blues Pro I just talked about, and it has all the same problems. Sharp edges, kind of inconsistent playability. Like, it's not bad. It mostly works. Mine was kind of iffy. I don't know. I want to like this harmonica, but the setup is pretty garbage, at least mine was, and it just feels cheap and not good to play, so I'm putting it in C tier. And finally, we have the DeBell Noble. This is from a new South Korean company, and it is a maple combed harmonica that is sealed so it won't swell. Has phosphor bronze reeds and equal temperament tuning, just like the Golden Melody, but it sounds a little grittier in comparison to the Golden Melody, so it's probably best of both worlds there. I really like the Noble. To me, it feels pretty much just like a crossover, only it's quite a bit cheaper at $56.35. So the DeBell Noble is a win in my book. It's getting S tier from me, and I'm looking forward to trying the other DeBell harmonicas in the future. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful. If you just got a new harmonica or you're planning on getting one soon, you should learn how to set it up by clicking this video over here, which will help turn your bad harmonicas into good harmonicas and your good harmonicas into great ones. That's it, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.